is going to continue to work not just with the Israelis and the Palestinians, but also with other key partners in the regions as we all work toward that peace.
All right, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki laying out the White House's plan for dealing with violence in the Middle East, saying that President Biden and other officials will be working together. But is that going to be enough? This call for peace. Rabbi Stephen Burg is a business owner in Israel, joins us now live from the city of Jerusalem. Rabbi, thank you for coming on today. Perhaps we can just start with an update as to what you're seeing right now.
You know, when people look at the sky here in Israel, it looks a little bit like Star Wars. I mean, we're watching missiles constantly raining down. Everyone is rushing into bomb shelters. And thank God and thank the United States of America that we have the Patriot system and the ability to shoot down those missiles. But it's very, very tense here. And, you know, we're in this for the long haul to see, you know, what's going to be happening.
Yeah. When you hear those comments and remarks from the White House press secretary that they would be attempting to work with other countries in the region to try to instill peace and calm, is that reassuring to you? Is that enough?
No, it's not reassuring. It's a big problem. You know, when you say that we're going to reach out to other countries that can speak to Hamas, Hamas is a terrorist organization. That's not the way we work with Al-Qaeda. That's not the way we work with these people. These people are trying to kill men, women, and children. And you don't try and reach out to other countries. You have to let Israel do what Israel has to do. And Israel has to push back very, very strongly. You know, if there's peace on the other side, Israel's happy to have peace. It's very, very disappointing to not hear just very, very strong backing. And frankly, people in America understand that it's not just the White House. They're very concerned about the liberal parts of the Democratic Party, which are not supporting Israel at this time.
Yeah, we're showing live images right now of the West Bank where we see violence unfolding. Again, those tires being burned, creating a sort of smoke screen. Clearly, this is spreading, right, going beyond Gaza. We've heard concerns about the possibility of this becoming a full-scale war. Rabbi, do you share those concerns? Do you think that could be a potential?
It's always a potential. It's always a concern. And I think one of the real issues here is I think everyone understands in the ground in the Middle East, and even the other Arab countries understand that the Palestinian Authority is basically a corrupt entity, and that the funding of it is basically, they haven't had a free election in well over a dozen years. They don't operate like that. And I think that when the world sends money to them, this is where the money's going. And it's a huge problem. Everyone's very, very concerned. You know, we have our troops. I have two nephews in the Israeli army. We're all concerned exactly how this plays out. But I think that the world needs to step back and let Israel as a democracy handle this in the right way and bring peace to the table through strength and not supporting Hamas. What you're seeing now, if America keeps going down the road with Iran that it's going, this could be the United States, because this is how Iran and Hamas and all these other terrorist entities, this is how they operate.
I want to talk to you about what it's like to be in these high intensity locations as well. Do alarms go off? Are there warnings that are heard above to tell people to seek shelter?
Absolutely. There's air raid sirens. I mean, it's a little bit old fashioned. Many people have it on their cell phone. So you know that as well, exactly where the warnings are. But a lot of it, you know, you're sitting at home with your children and all of a sudden, or they could be asleep in bed in the middle of the night, you hear a siren, everyone has to get up and they have to go into a fortified room. And that's what Israelis all across Israel are dealing with right now. And it's an amazing thing. Hamas is just lobbing missiles and seeing if they could just hit, civilians. And then when, we hear that Israel should be reserved and should strike back, it should be proportionate. What does proportionate mean? Does that mean that Israel should be lobbing in missiles into the neighborhoods? It's just, no one gets it in Israel as they hear the rest of the world pontificating about how to deal with terrorism on our doorstep.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to keep following this story. And of course, we wish you and your family safety during this time. It's Rabbi Stephen Burg joining us live. Rabbi,
thank you so much. God bless.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.